What's up, YouTube? It's our money, and right here, this is a sensitive topic. And before I get to the topic, I'm already put my protection up. Your little pictures that you got of me and my family is not gonna work. You know, whatever you see my friend have or whoever I associate myself with, we all family because that's my soul child. I don't associate myself with friends anymore. I associate myself with family. You don't have to be blood to be family, and you can be blood and not be family. So them little pictures that you got ain't gonna work no more. That's your reflection. So whatever you have the intention of with my picture or whoever else that's righteous of their picture, it's gonna reflect to you 10 times. And then on top of that, if you got any clothes of mine, they're not your clothes. So anything that you try to do to my clothes to make physical things happen to me in this reality, it's not gonna work. It's gonna happen right back to you tenfold. So let's just get that out the way. So yeah, you clicked on here for the title. It took me a while to come out about this because it's like, you know, when you've been afflicted so much, when you just experiencing so much stuff coming into your life that reminds you of your family, you think, you know, how they act, this is supposed to be family. You know, how this person acting is supposed to be family. You don't really know that you're high ranked in the spirit, that you already wealthy in the spirit. You know, you don't know that they destination swapping with you, trying to put trauma onto your life. And it's like I'm learning that as I isolate. You know, I'm sitting retention 30 days. I've been fasting for 30 days. And what else? I've been sober for 30 days. I haven't been consuming nothing that hasn't been electricity. I've been getting closer to my ancestors, my cosmic ancestors, my guardian angels, my archangels. So, you know, this is why I feel comfortable to come out about this. Everybody that's a victim to this person is going to be protected as well, you know, because I know she has a lot of victims. You know, I feel like she a high rank. I mean, she not high, she losing power. That's another reason why I'm coming out. She's losing power because it's like the last time, you know, I was figuring out family drama and family trauma, my charger exploded. My charger wouldn't work. It literally exploded. And it's like, you know, just recently when I dropped my album yesterday, you know, I was talking about it. And, you know, my charger stopped working, but it's like, you know, she's losing power, so my charger's still able to work, even though I can go buy 15 chargers, I can go buy 100 chargers, but, you know, I'm knowing why it's happening, you know, because I talk about this specific person. That's why I'm not going to say no names, but I'm going to just say my aunt Cecily assaulted me, you know, to keep my house, basically my house, you know, because my granddad died. He adopted me when I was younger because my dad died. He got killed, and my granddad died from health issues. So my first car was his truck. You know, my first car was a V8. That was my first car. I learned how to drive a truck. You know, I ended up getting a bad wreck. You know, came out with no injuries. But, you know, he left a lot of stuff that was there. Because I grew up with my grandparents. He left a lot of stuff that was there for me. You know, I had a basketball goal. You know, he had a tool shed, all the tools were mine. You know, I used to cut grass. You know, I never had a job growing up. It was always hard for me to get a job. Now I'm seeing why. You know, people can wish this over your life, you know, to make you feel like, oh, it's too late. You know, you got to go do this now. You got to go work a job. Now you got to go, you know, you can't really believe in yourself no more. It's too late for you. You know, that's the goal, you know, because I don't celebrate birthdays, and they try to wish me happy birthday. You know, they're the only people that wish me happy birthday, bro. I got 100,000 subscribers. It don't matter if my videos are shadow banned or whatever, you know. That's just because what I target my ads for, you know. Y'all like to see me do pranks with females. But y'all had to close my window, get interrupted, you feel me? But not necessarily, y'all know what I'm talking about. That's what you seen me blow up from, pranking my baby mom. But, you know, we on good terms, you know, but I'm just like, you know, it's just a spirit, bro, because it's like, this a repeated cycle. It's a story behind this, because when I graduated high school, bro, I didn't really get to do the things that I wanted to do. I didn't really get to play the sports that I wanted to play for real, bro. And it's just like, you know, I remember growing up, I was in this mime group. It's when you mime for God, and I guess I did something online that made them want to put me out the group, because, I was wild growing up, but, I was also getting attacked. My chakra was also getting attacked. I was getting introduced to things that I didn't do on my own. I just got introduced to them, and I'm like, oh, they can do that. I got introduced to porn from her side of the family. So I didn't watch porn until I got introduced to it. So, like, porn is a way your chakra could get attacked, and you can be more sexual. You can be, like, not yourself. You just lustful for no reason. You wonder why you can't get things done, and you got so much dopamine, and you're a procrastinator. It's probably because you watch porn, or you can't hold your semen. You can't hold your energy for yourself. So, so going through high school, I didn't really get to do the things that I wanted to do. I had to choose in between music and sports, and y'all already know, like, I do music. I just dropped the album yesterday, go stream Capital Jackson, go buy my album, Apple Music right now. But yeah, so I didn't really get to play sports that long. I didn't play Little League growing up, so, my first time playing sports was 7th grade. And like I told you, I was in this mom group. I got put out the group, and, I suddenly seen a dude go to my school. He used to go to my school, my middle school that I went to, and I seen him go up to my school, and it's just like, bro, I'm so connected to God now, bro. God be talking back to me, like, it just be random downloads, bro. He got me kicked out the mind group, I guess because of something I did online, because I love content. I always love doing content. I was fucking 12 years old doing content, I don't even remember, a long time. I started doing music when I was 11. When I was old enough to have a phone, I was like 12, 13 years old, bro, like, doing content, trying to go viral, trying to, make people laugh. But I've been doing music since I was 11. But, I think I did something online to get kicked out the group, but I can already sense, like, he was kind of jealous, because, like, I like to show energy, and, let me put the feeling into the dance, because miming is, like, basically when they put on paint and stuff, which is why I stopped doing it, because ain't that's makeup. You got to put white paint on your face and mime, like you in Paris or something. But, for God. So I feel like he wanted to go talk to the coach that was over the baseball team and the basketball team, because he played baseball. I remember he played baseball, because one day I saw him pull up to the school. I was at football practice, and, he walked up to the door, the back where we go have practice at, and he saw me, but he didn't go nowhere. He just left. I guess he still did go in. I don't remember exactly what happened, but he ain't expect to see me, and I guess he ain't do it that day, because I think he walked away or something. I was walking home, and he was trying to give me a ride. My house was right there. That's how I knew, like thinking on it now, like, it's weird that you trying to give me a ride. My house is 2 minutes away. Like, just leave me alone. You keep me out the group. You showed up to my school. He probably told the coach that I'm bad, because he told me I couldn't try for baseball and basketball because I'm bad. So he's probably the reason why I didn't get to try out. That's the agent. Like, he smoked cigarettes backwards, bro. Like, every gig that we have at church, bro, he was smoking a cigarette right before we do it. So it's just like, it was just built up hatred. Like, when you so ambitious and you want to do so much stuff, people hate on you, bro. And it's just like, let's go past that part, because I'm gonna just tell y'all why I didn't go to college. When I graduated high school, I had the summer to figure out my life. I'm like, okay, I'll go to college if I can play football. But, my mom convinced me, no, just go to college. They can pay you. But, like, how about I went for 3 days in college? Just remind me of high school, bro. Like, in 3 days, we had to do a presentation already. And in class, I don't like nobody energy, bro. I don't like nobody energy. It's like they want you to feel like that. So I dropped out of college, bro. I was talking to this girl. I went to go pick her up. I drove like 14 hours for her. She had $5 in her pocket. But we was talking for a little minute. I picked her up, and then we hung out. And that's when I was finna get in school, so she was still there, and I'm finna start school. So I decided to not even like stay at school though, cause I'm like I don't like it. You know, it reminds me of high school. I'm not gonna just do this to make money. You know, I don't like school like that anyway. You know, I barely graduated 12th grade, but I still did it. You know, I still got my GED. I still got my diploma, but grateful too. But I moved out, bro. Like, cause my mom ain't like the fact that I didn't want to finish school. You know, so I moved in with old girl. You know, paying a percentage of the rent, and we didn't end up working out. She ended up cheating on me. You know, she ended up having a baby too. She said it's not my baby, but you know, like at first she was claiming that it was my baby. So I don't know. You know, that's something that's gonna be settled. You know, we gonna figure this out. This shit is all spiritual for real, because it's like, you know, is that a spell too to make people act like that? That you think they're your family because they act the same way and your family act the same way. You think your blood, your family, but they treat you the same way, and it's just like it always ain't working out. Just for you to go back to them, and it's like, okay, we end up breaking up, so I moved back in with my grandma. You know, because me and my mom was getting into it. You know, she wanted me to go to college and get a good education. And, you know, I already had my head on straight. I got a job when I moved out the house at 18. You know, and I moved 6 hours away. I told you I drove 14 hours. I drove to Arkansas, and I drove back to my hometown. You know, in Alabama. So yeah, so when I came back, you know, I was staying with my grandma, and I started doing videos, because I told you I've been doing videos for a long time. And, you know, I started blowing up. So I wasn't making money yet, but, you know, I had a car. You know, I don't have a car now, but I had a car. I had my license, you know. Everything was going good. Still got my license, but, you know, a lot of people don't do that at the age they supposed to do it, you know. People just be comfortable with where they at and stuff happening. You know, I always wanted my own growing up. I always wanted my own. Like at 14, I tried to get a job. I couldn't get a job. For some reason, in Alabama, it was always hard for me to get a job out there. You know, so I was an entrepreneur. You know, I got an allowance. I cut grass. I did all type of stuff I could have did. You know, I cut hair. So, but yeah, fast forward. This is why, you know, I didn't listen to her about the job thing, because, you know, my auntie wanted me to work, because, you know, my grandma was getting sick, bro. Like, she was getting sick. And, you know, I had to take care of the house. I had to take care of responsibility, which I was already doing, you know. But I started to figure out, oh, yeah, she is what I thought she was, because she was like, play. When I say play, like, you would mess with things. When I clean up, you would put it back. You would do weird stuff. You would do, she's a witch, bro. Like I said, I'm coming out about this now because she's losing power. Everybody's protected. You know, this is the truth, what I've been through, you know, because I've been destination swap, bro. I'm spiritually rich, and, you know, I'm still here. Like, even when I was financially stable back then, bro, LA is expensive. I'm still here in my studio. Even the small studio box is expensive, bro. Like, but I'm still here, you know, and we still grinding. But, yeah, bro, so I said that I do videos. I'm about to get paid on my videos, which I did start getting paid for videos. It wasn't a lot. TikTok didn't pay that much, you know, but I was making like, oh, my first check was $60, and, you know, I was putting the views in and stuff until I started hanging around people, and, you know, they start slowing down. So I keep running into people that's just like them, because I think they family. But fast forward, she was telling me to get a job, and then she said, you don't want to get a job, and start caressing my leg. I swear to God. She said, you can't find a job, and start caressing my legs. You got strong thighs, boy. You got veiny thighs, boy. You know, I froze. I'm like, whoa, you know, like, I knew you was weird, but hold up, nah. You know, that's when I decided to stop fighting for the crib. And my mom, we got back into it, you know, but, you know, I didn't tell her that for a long time. Like, recently I just told her, and she told me that she would have, you know, but I'm like, you can't do that, because you got spiritual protection over your life and whoever you come in contact to, because, you know, you have your soul tribe, that's your family, so they can't do nothing. You know, and it's just like, if you see stuff happen to people, it's because they don't know about themselves, or they still think the matrix is going to help them. They still think the system is for them, and it's just like, you know, it's still a part of that spell to make it look like they have power, but they're losing power, you know. But it's just a lot of stuff I don't even feel comfortable speaking on right now. But, you know, I can come out about her sexual assault to me, you know. She caressed my leg and said, "You got another girlfriend, and you got some veiny thighs," and you know what that means. Like, I'm like, whoa, that made me froze, and you know, that's when I decided to just like get all my stuff and move out. You know, I moved back in with my mom, and my grandma was still alive at the time, but she was sick, bro. Like, she's like, and she was supposed to be the nurse. Like, my auntie was supposed to be the nurse, but my grandma wasn't getting no better. My mom had to save her, you know, but it was too late. Her blood pressure kept dropping, you know, but that's just a lot of deep stuff I still don't feel comfortable talking about right now, you know, because, you know, I'm still being attacked. It just ain't working no more. Like, what's up, you know, I know who I am now. Rebuke, send it back to you. You know, them pictures you got, that's why she always wanted to take family pictures. I'm like, why she always want to take pictures, bro? Like, because you can do that. You can have our pictures and go put them on an altar or something and have our clothes. Like, that's why you wanted our hand-me-downs. That's why you want my hand-me-downs. You wanted all my clothes. I wonder why you used to take all my clothes. Just to make it seem like stuff is still happening to you, bro. Like, that's over with, bro. You feel me? That's over with. And you can see me in my eyes and look me in my eyes, you know it too. Yeah. But like I said, like that made me so uncomfortable, bro. Like, I ain't even cry, I didn't know what to think. You know? I'm just like, bro, that's weird, bro. Like, that's just a story though. Like, after that, you know, she was hella disrespectful with my things because I moved out. I guess, like, she threw my dress clothes on the floor. You know, she brought me all my stuff, but, you know, my dress things that I had, she threw them on the ground in the closet. I left them there, bro. I'm like, okay. Not getting those. I see the disrespect, because like I told y'all, when I cleaned up, she would put things back like I didn't do it to make me look like, oh, he can't take care of the house, you know. But that's my story, bro. I'm not trying to make it too long, bro. Like, just let me know if y'all want more details, because it's like, you know, people can look at me and be like, oh, you know, his YouTube is flopping, but I'm getting attacked, bro. Like, I was born into this. I was born into destination swapping. You know, they know you try to do that little dance, sing that little song, money. And, you know, little do you know, they trying to make you feel comfortable enough to attack you, to put trauma into your life, to destination swap. And it's just like, it's all coming back to us, bro. You can't destination swap, bro. I'm the GOAT, bro. Stop playing with me, bro. For real, bro. That's how I feel, because I'm from Birmingham. Y'all already know how we is out there, bro. Like, real trenches. I took my own path. You feel me? But, yeah. Like, that's my story, bro. Like, that's not even half of my story, to be honest. That's just a part of it that I feel comfortable letting y'all know right now, you know? And if you see something happen to me, just know who it was, you know? Because I told y'all she a witch. You losing your power. You can't do nothing to me. It's like, what else can you do? Like, if you're around me, nobody's around me that's not conscious about themselves, because I'm already knowing that you probably just trying to use me for what I have. But, you know, that's my story, bro. I'm not trying to make this video this long. We're getting back into the algorithm. We're gonna manifest it. It don't matter, you know. Like, we still back monetized. My music channel not monetized right now, but we're gonna get back monetized on there. We're gonna get that 4K watch time. So y'all keep running it up. You feel me? We getting through it. We got protection, and we got blessings.